Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the red sparking Frieza, my build, and how I think you should utilize them. Now this video is coming out a little bit later than it probably should have. Definitely been out a while, and yeah, I 100% own that. I think just got busy with other games, didn't really get the equipment together, didn't really get the team together, and then was kind of waiting to take a look at Cooler, because Cooler Final Form, you take a look at him kind of alongside the Zenkai for Frieza. But it's really the movie Saga bosses, or sorry, the movie Saga's team in Legends that is really a little bit all over the place. So I think for me, definitely, I wanted to kind of get things right before I looked at these units. So I think that was something that was crucial. And then obviously things just got kind of swept up a little bit from there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I think this Red Frieza has some really good kind of support capabilities, which I think is very, very crucial. We'll take a look at him now, but his abilities to disrupt the opponent is really something I think you can lean on a little bit with him. Like you can actually use it reliably on a lot of teams. So I think that's something I noted and probably included when talking about him, and I think like it's something that has to be mentioned. But yeah, Final Form Frieza, look, shall we put you to a little test? You draw the ultimate arts card, Nova Storm, restore his own key, give himself extra ultimate damage inflicted, inflict all enemies with -2 arts card draw speed, all fine, well and dandy. His unique ability, when he enters the battlefield, plus 80% damage inflicted, cannot be stacked, reduces damage received by 25%. This was all his Zenkai, his baseline. Now with his Zenkai, things have changed quite a bit. He's got 170% damage, 100% guard, +1 to draw speed. He protects his Dragon Balls for 60 timer counts, which is also very important, very critical. The Emperor arrives on battlefield entry. He will draw a special arts card next. Key +20, based on the number of Dragon Balls. He will increase damage 30% for 3 to 6 Dragon Balls. And then if you have Rising Rush active, he'll actually do 50% more damage. Now, in terms of the rest, Ignoble Extermination, been revamped a little bit, key +10, or ally counts, sub counts -1, and then enemy damage received up 25%, and then enemy health restoration down 50%. So getting those strike or blast art hits in, those strike or blast hits in, this Frieza does actually matter. It's not like it doesn't matter. I think that is super important for people to understand. It actually matters quite greatly and is important overall to keep things cool. In terms of the next passive, Emperor's Conquest, when not defeated and when Dragon Ball is gained, damage will go up by 20%, notification of special cover changes, and then sub counts -1, which is always fine. 100% standby ally health up, and then his own health up 20%. This is actually one of the better mechanics of him. It makes the team very, very tanky and makes them very irritating, especially if you can manage your vanishing steps a little bit better, because it actually makes it really, really strong. And then imminent threat, +20 key, vanishing step up, gauge +100%, no odds, -5. When hit by an enemy's attack, activation resets on switch, health goes up, and then all allies or enemies get a debuff to their strike, blast power, etc. So it's definitely something that is really important to quantify. I think he's a good support character. He provides a lot of buffing to the team, and also does a lot of things like the healing, etc., which all of that is very helpful and is very useful. So definitely he's a good kind of, I guess, unit to use in a utility sense. But the real question is, what will the long-term implications be? So I think the big thing with Frieza is also you have to look at his green card. So his green card is very, very good. Not only on activation will he draw one card, cancel enemy buff effects, and prevent all enemy switching, but if he does inflict the enemy with paralysis, if it hits, he also can hit them depending on the number of Dragon Balls available. So for example, you could hit 2 people when there's 2 Dragon Balls available, but then when there's 3, it obviously can be stolen as well, which is very, very, very crucial with the green card. It's quite impactful from a rush management perspective, because a lot of the units that are coming out are very rush focused, rush orientated, so it's definitely something that needs to be sort of like monitored in a way. And then he's got his Zenkai Ultra Arts card, which on damage will give damage penetration boost of 100%, which is interesting. And then we have his Ultimate Arts Nova Storm on hit, and then health plus 40%, destroys enemies' entire hand, cancels enemies' attribute upgrades. All of that very, very, very difficult time that we had to go through. I think ultimately Frieza looks good, and everything he does looks good. I think everything he puts together looks decent. It obviously sucks to admit because I'm a Liverpool fan, but I think he looks alright. I will say for me, definitely he is a sparking Zenkai, not a Legends Limited Zenkai, so you can definitely tell that. But I think overall it was pretty good. I personally think, and I think he was good, and I think he's got a lot of information about how the races can kind of pan out, and certain driving functions. So for me, when it comes down to Frieza's one of those units that doesn't necessarily drive the game in any way, but you are definitely a very valuable passenger, whether that's in the passenger seat or in the back, but you are a very, very valuable passenger. And I think it is super duper important to kind of note that, because I do think that even though most sparking Zenkais don't have a lot of responsibility put on them, I do think what is important to take note of is that team seems to be handling everything more than fine, and ultimately at the end of the day, I don't think it's a big issue. I think when it comes to Frieza, the main core is his ultimate art and his green card. Now his green card, very, 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 very good. It inflicts paralysis on the opponent guaranteed, draws a card, and cancels enemy buffs, which is great. But it is also able to, based on the number of Dragon Balls, either add a Dragon Ball to you or steal an enemy Dragon Ball. So for example, if you are above 1 in terms of your Dragon Balls, then when you use the green card, you will steal the Dragon Balls, which is important in terms of making like control of the Rising Rush and everything a crucial aspect of your gameplay. Now, in terms of everything else, personally, I think it's much of a muchness. So I think like your gear, debatable, depends how you feel. Mainly you want to go for HP. Everything else I think ran smooth enough in terms of like the units we faced and everything. So I think it was a decent barometer of his kind of boost in Zenkai and everything. And I think we can see it didn't help him